So, I uploaded 3 videos on Friday, 2 LP episodes and one that had nothing to do with LPing at all, and the latter was by far the most popular of the 3, so the message you're sending me is that I should quit LPing and go do something else instead? No, of course I'm kidding. I'm definitely not considering quitting LPing, at least not for the time being. Speaking of which, speaking of doing videos, this never happened to me before. Never! Well, maybe once or twice in almost 4 years it could have happened, but over the last 2 weeks, dear fucking God, I've had an abhorrent amount of spam from people asking me to join, gaming channels such as Machinima. No, don't worry, Machinima didn't actually contact me. I'm saying that other channels that are sort of like Machinima actually contacted me to join them, and no, I'm just not interested. So, why do you keep asking me? Of course, I'm aware that it's a different one every time, but the fact is that for the last 2 weeks, suddenly I've become hot stuff for some reason. I have no idea why. In almost 4 years of LPing, I've never seen something like that. But in the last 2 weeks, everyone wants me, and it's not just offers to join channels either. It's appearances at online events and stuff like that, and the answer is always the same. I just click the goddamn block user button because I am not interested. And by the way, thank fucking God Machinima didn't contact me, because if for some crazy reason they asked me to join them, I would let them have it. Because unlike most people, I'm actually aware of Machinima's absolutely terrible business practices, and I don't want them to eat the wool off my back, to paraphrase an expression we have here. But yeah, it's just not happening. I'm a freelance LPer, and I want things to remain that way. Thank you very much. Now, back to the game for a bit. This area of Route 4 is actually pretty interesting because, as you can see, it's an area that's under construction. They're trying to build sort of a suburb in there. And when you come back here in Black 2 and White 2, I thought that was pretty interesting. It's one of those areas that are different between both versions. Because in Black 2, the area is complete and there are buildings and stuff, and it really looks like a nice little desert suburbs. But in White 2, it didn't go so well because the whole place looks like a shanty town. It's just in ruins and there's just nothing to do. But then again, they're trying to build a suburb in a desert where there's a sandstorm 24/7, so sort of to be expected. I don't know if the sandstorms stop in Black 2, though. That's something I'm going to need to check out. Don't bother telling me in the comments. That's something I can look up for myself. I don't know, I thought that was interesting. By the way, a piece of advice, because right now we're in the middle of the summer and the heat is just absolutely dreadful, unless you live in Australia, I guess. But that's not the point. The point is that recently I started having problems with my computer, especially when playing Diablo 3, and the problem was that my computer would go into sleep mode on its own, and I couldn't get it off sleep mode without... Oh! Drillbur wants to learn Rock Slide, so yes, please, I'm gonna get rid of Rock Slash here. But yeah, my computer went into sleep mode, and the only way to get it out of sleep mode was to reboot it. It's that kind of sleep mode. I don't think it's worth calling sleep mode, but whatever. So I looked it up on the internet to see maybe if I could find out what the problem was, and as it turned out, my graphics card was starting to overheat. And I had that problem once or twice last month, once again when it was really, really hot. But it was much worse this time around because, well, it was hotter and one more month had passed. So yeah, the graphics card was overheating, and while I was playing Diablo 3, I downloaded a program to see how hot it could get, and the temperatures reached were, around 100, 105 degrees. I don't know a damn thing about computers, but I'm gonna guess that's pretty hot. That's freaking water's boiling point. So what the hell? So I had my brother clean out the inside of the computer, which had a lot of dust inside it. Because to be perfectly honest with you, I never thought of getting that done. Said, stop missing! For the love of God, all those mud slaps are really getting to me. Here's another one. Rock smash. Oh God, another mud slap. You know what? Screw this. Screw holding out for experience on Petty Lil. I'm gonna use it because it's just getting really aggravating. Please no mud slap. Please no mud slap. Thank you! Okay, so as I was saying, I never thought of getting that done, cleaning the inside of the computer, because everything was running fine. But, it was almost 2 years since I got that computer, so it was about damn time that I got that done. So, just to remind you that if you haven't cleaned the inside of your computer in a long time, this would be a pretty good time to do it, because when the temperature is this hot, there's much more of a risk of your computer overheating, which is, of course, very, very bad. And personally, I could see the results instantly, because, as I said, before the temperature could reach 100, 105 degrees, and now it doesn't get any higher than 75, so that's a 30-degree difference. My graphics card must be thanking the hell out of me right now, and maybe my brother as well, because it was him who did the job. Tired workers should head to the prefab house by Castelia City. Oh yeah, that's a building that we haven't visited yet. We're gonna do it on our way out. And something I guess I should mention as well, since I didn't mention it, about this desert area. As you can see, there are two types of sand. There's the normal sand that you can walk on, and the sand that you're about like knee deep in it or something like that. It's a lot deeper, and that's where you can encounter wild Pokémon. This is a change from previous. Actually, in Generation 3, it was handled sort of the same way, except the type of sand where you could encounter random battles was a different color instead of, being just deeper. But then again, it was the Game Boy Advance at that point, so I'm just going to cut them some slack. They can't do miracles with those earlier handheld systems. But in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, it was really weird because there was tall grass in the desert. That's not really worth being called a desert anymore, if grass can grow like that, if you ask me. But then again, this was one minor area in the post-game, so yeah, once again, it doesn't really matter. It's a bit unrealistic and a bit of Nintendo logic, but nonetheless, what would Nintendo games be without Nintendo logic? Anyway, okay, so... Oh, wow, it was right there. I was sort of wondering if it was even further up, right next to the item that you could actually see, but I guess not. And I can't stress enough how much I love this rendition of the dowsing machine. If only it could have been this convenient earlier on. Now, I know in the first 3 generations, there was no touchscreen, so I guess they couldn't do it, but I just love this dowsing machine, and I hope that this remains a staple of future games like this. Anyway, I just picked up the Torment TM, which is fundamentally useless in-game. Competitively, I guess it's pretty cool for really screwing over choice item users and force them to struggle every other turn. But, even there, it's somewhat of a niche move. Nonetheless, it's pretty cool when you can get it to work. So now, I believe I have done everything there is to do on Route 4 for now. So, I learned Rock Slide with Drillbur, which is very good, because it's going to be, it's going to make the upcoming gym a lot easier. So for now, I'm just going to check out this building that they were talking about earlier. See if there's anything in there. There are a few beds, I believe. If this is a healing spot, yep. Once again, it's it's very close to the exit of town. It's very easy to get here without fighting a single battle. It would have been a lot more useful had it been a little bit deeper in once again, but oh well, at least I won't have to make another a detour through the Pokémon Center before heading to the gym, I suppose. Because, yep, that's where we're headed. This is a bug-type gym, which means Petilil won't be of much use here, which is why I allowed it to go as far as level 27 for now. And Drillbur, well, it would have been sort of complicated for Drillbur as well because of the Suwaddle line, potentially using moves like Razor Leaf and stuff like that. But with Rock Slide, it's going to be considerably easier. So, let's see what this guy has to say. With all of the bustling people, you started feeling worn down on your way to the gym. Well, not really. I could even afford to go to the freaking desert before coming here. Anyway, free fresh water, once again, not complaining. The theme of this gym is walking through walls. At first glance, these funny honey walls may look impassable or even impossible. All you have to do is run through the middle point of these walls, and you'll eventually get through. So, this puzzle isn't really much of a puzzle at all. Let's see what it says. Gym leader Berg, certified trainers Sharon. Okay, so let's get started on this gym. So here's our first honey wall. All you have to do is do that, and then press the button, which will open a gate way over there, but we can't really do anything about it quite yet. And it also activates, you know, it's one of the two switches that activate this gate. And all the trainers in this gym are clowns, or rather Harlequins. No, not the Batman character. That goes without saying. But yeah, all of the trainers here are clowns. I don't know why they just don't call them clowns, you know, like they did in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. But oh well, doesn't really matter. Now look at the power of Rock Slide. Those Suwaddles are doomed now. Even if they have Razor Leaf, I'm going to kill them first. Unless I miss, of course, which is what usually happens with Rock Slide. But still, something that I want to point out, because you may have noticed this, and I thought it was pretty cool. In Unova, all of the gym leaders have sidelines, or being the gym leader is a sideline in and of itself. I guess it depends on the gym leader. But yeah, all of the gym leaders have other jobs, like Silan, Shilly, and Cress are waiters, Lenora's a museum curator, Berg's an artist, Elisa's a supermodel, Clay's a company president, Skyla's a pilot, Bryson's an actor, and Drayden is the mayor of Opelucid City. So I guess that leaves Iris without a sideline. Oh, and I forgot as well that Roxy's a guitarist, and I actually don't know what Marlon does, but I'm gonna venture a guess and say he's a surfer dude. Oh, speaking of gym leaders, something that's really fucked up about this game is that it spawned one of the all-time Rule 34 favorites, and it's not the supermodel character. I'm going to give you a hint, she goes down runways as well, but you probably know who I'm talking about at this point. So I guess Game Freak took notice of that and took away 95% of Elisa's clothes in black and white too. And this is why Elisa was the only gym leader to get a redesign in black and white too, while all the others look the exact same. Of course, I'm making stuff up. This probably isn't the reason, but, you know, it's still fun to pretend, and I hate it when that happens, when I use a weaker but more accurate move, or one that takes less time compared to Dig to kill a weak Pokemon, and then it still survives. Nonetheless, that's not really that much of a problem, because the video is about to end anyway, so I'm going to do what I usually do, head back to the Pokemon Center and heal myself between videos so that you don't have to see me do that every single time. Let's press this switch, which is part of the activation thingy for this gate. And okay, this gate is open, so I'm going to be able to go through that wall, but I'm not going to do this right now. I'm going to keep it for next time instead.